सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यकरवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः हरिः ॐ तच्छयोगराधुनीमहे गातुं यज्ञाय गातुं यज्ञपदये दैवी स्वस्तिरस्तु नः स्वस्तिर्मानुषेभ्यः ऊर्ध्वं जगातु भेषजं शन्नो अस्तु द्विपदे शं चतुष्पदे ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः हरिः ॐ
ಜಗನ್ನಾಥ ಅವರಿದ್ದು ಶ್ರೀಕಂಠಯ್ಯ ಜಿ ಎಸ್ ಸುಬ್ರಹ್ಮಣ್ಯ ಶ್ರೀ ರಾಮಸ್ವಾಮಿ ಪ್ಲೀಸ್ ಪ್ಲೀಸ್ ಸರ್ ಪ್ಲೀಸ್
ಆಟೋ ಫೋಕಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಂತ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಬ್ಲಡ್ ಬರ್ತಿದೆ ಅಂತೇಳಿ
ನಮಗೆ ಹಾಡಿಂದನೇ ಟ್ಯಾಗೋರ್ ಹಾಡಿಂದನೇ ಇವರು ಆಯುಷ್ಯ
Just a minute. This sir? Okay. ನಿಮಗೆ ಓಕೆ ಎಲ್ಲ Ismail sir. Madam. Narendra sir. Sir.
समझे पोस्ट फॉर फोटोग्राफी take a photo sir नरेंद्र बनी उमा और
कैमरा इधर मेले The program is it is 245. What is the
ATL. Actually, when children take out of this, they will get a curiosity.
Rajesh.
2D models. These are 3D models. These are just a pen stand. All are designed. So this can sound this periodic table or this periodic table.
Especially in honor of Peter.
Finally got to meet you. I learned so much about you.
RBI is very happy.
Bring lots of food. Many lots of food is being wasted all over the world. Actually, it was survey conducted at American University. 1.3 billion tons of food is wasted globally. So it costs almost $750 billion. So I thought of idea. This I want to start the foundation. So this app we have food available. So the employees will come and collect the food and go and distribute it. So it's
Avoiding the wasted food and you are distributing it to the needy people.
yeah, sir. Actually, 40% of the food is wasted in the kitchen.
It's a huge amount of waste, and many restaurants are wasting, even houses are wasting. This is a very good idea. Connection not only to the shop, but also to household. Many times they cook for some wedding and all, there is a lot of food there. And then it just goes down. Lastly, you are participating in the Adult Degree Marathon. Keep it up.
Thank you, dear Ravikiran. I now request Dr. R. Ramanan, former Mission Director, ATL Innovation Mission and Additional Secretary, Niti Aayog, and also our chief guest today to address our students and all of us. Over to Dr. Ramanan.
Revered Swamiji, Muktidanandaji, respected Swamijis of the Ramakrishna Mission, respected dignitaries from all across the state who have visited and from outside, my dear young students who are the future of tomorrow. It is indeed a great pleasure, a privilege and honor for me to be able to stand here today and share a few moments of reflection on not only what I have seen, but what I think you all are going to see. In front of you is a world that is changing every day because of science and technology. Technology is changing the very shape of the world that we all live in. Technology is changing the shape of the world that you are experiencing. And it is changing the way the world is experiencing you. You, the young students who are out there, you are going to be the innovators, the creators of your own destiny, as the great Swami Vivekananda said. We are a country of 1.3 billion people. We have 1.4 million schools. We have 10,500 engineering and related institutions. We have 39,000 colleges. We have 150 million young students like you who are going to be entering into the workplace over the next 5 to 10 years. We have what they call as the demographic dividend, which is the envy of many a country. Very few countries possess this demographic dividend, this youthful energy coursing through the length and breadth of our nation. Very few countries have this transformative power that is there in front of me in this audience, right in front of all of us. Very few countries have that energy that can transform not only their own lives, not only transform the lives of the society around us, but also transform the lives of the world around us. We are indeed living in a world of uncertainty. If anything, the COVID-19 crisis, which descended upon us so swiftly, so starkly, so surprisingly and so devastatingly, if anything this COVID-19 has proved is that innovation, entrepreneurship, intellectual capability, values, science and spirituality is what has been able to bear this particular crisis. The crisis unleashed upon us, in no small measure, devastation to the extreme. It disrupted supply chains across the world. It disrupted lives and livelihoods. It disrupted national economic status. It created a fear in the minds of everybody as to what is there in the world ahead of us. What about other global pandemics lurking in the horizon? What about issues like climate change that we have been talking about, but which we have not experienced in its full ferocity? What about other disruptions to livelihoods across the world because of nationalistic fervors gripping various parts of the world, as you all know? Fervors that will disrupt supply chains even further. But in all of this, one thing came to the fore, and that is the world of science and technology. And of course, the importance of spirituality, culture, and values. If these don't walk together, we are going to live in a world that will go into greater misery. But if we are able to walk together, and upon you, my dear young students, lies that future, lies that possibility, lies that golden opportunity. Because you're living in a world which is very different from the world that we were born into, that I was raised into, and that you are having a chance to experience. When I grew up, even in 1981, when I was graduating from one of the most prestigious engineering institutes of our country, the IIT Bombay, we didn't talk of innovation. We didn't talk of startups. We didn't talk of entrepreneurship. We were just looking for a good job to be able to get placed in, to be able to go to a university abroad, as many of the Indians did, to get into a good university, get good marks again, and go into a job which will be fulfilling and which will provide a security. That was okay for those days. India, with its 1.4 million schools, created a class of education and millions of engineers who were able to provide services to the rest of the world. But what got us to this point, a point where India is known as the emerging knowledge capital of the world, a point where we have $200 billion of ITS industry, a point to where I was part of the growth of the Indian IT revolution. We have come to a point where just rote learning, getting good marks, getting into a good university, or getting into a good job is not good enough. It's not good enough for you. As the great Abdul Kalam said, and he came from this very small, humble town of Rameshwaram, a town more known for its fishing boats than for its schools and universities, a town more known for its temples than for its engineering capability. From this small town came a small, humble, diminutive man who dreamt big. You have the advantage today, my dear young students, of growing in an emerging city like Mysore. But he grew from the town of Rameshwaram. But he said in his book Ignite, dream big and you'll achieve great things. Dream small and you'll be limited by your own dreams. So my dear students, first and foremost, you should dare to dream and you should dream to dare. And this science and technology lab, these innovations lab, these sort of educational thrust that the Ramakrishna Vidyashala and Ramakrishna Mission is doing is providing that perfect ecosystem for you to be able to dare to dream. Dream to dare. The great Swami Vivekananda said, and I see his quotes everywhere here, if you have faith in 1,000 gods and goddesses, but do not have faith in yourselves, it is of no use. So, besides daring to dream and dreaming to dare, you should have tremendous faith in yourself. Faith that can move mountains, he says. Faith that can fill you with that energy that yes, you can. And my dear young students, you all believe and we all believe and we are led to believe because of the growth of society, because of the way we self-impose limitations on us. We believe that we cannot be the innovators of the future. But you are indeed the innovators of the future. You are the job creators of the future. You are the creators and the transformers of the country of tomorrow and the nation that we all are going to live in. And why do I say this with great certainty? I say it because of a very fundamental fact. When you were born, you didn't know how to walk. You got up, you fell down, you got up again, you fell down again. But every time you got up, what did you do? You innovated. You innovated because of your own innate, innovative talent, intelligence, and capability. The great Vivekananda says, education is just a manifestation of the perfection that is already inside you. Those are great words. If you realize the meaning of that, you realize that you are a born innovator. So you soon started to walk. You started to run. You started participating in national races and international competitions. And some of you, like Usain Bolt from a humble city of Kenya or a country of Kenya, rises on to become an Olympic champion. That is the power of innovation. The power of belief of what you have within you that should find an expression into the outside world through your creativity, through your effort, through your sincerity, through your passion, through your dedication, through the availability and the availing of the ecosystem that is being provided to you. I did meet a small group of students in the astronomy lab which I was visiting. I told them, this is your opportunity to study about space. India is among the leaders of space technology. ISRO is among the leader in creating the lowest cost satellite vehicle launch vehicles, platforms. We and you, my dear young students, have now the ability with the science, technology, innovation labs and the astronomy labs available to you. How are you going to use it to create a ding in the universe? The great Steve Jobs, the founder of Apple and the phones that you use today, said, we all should leave a ding in the universe. Now what does leaving a ding in the universe mean? It means your life, our lives, should have a purpose and an impact beyond ourselves. We need to be able to leave an impact for society to experience and for the benefit of humanity. And that is possible, my dear young students. Like I said, you are all born innovators. Nobody taught you to talk. When you were observing the world as you were growing up, you listened to the sounds from outside. You started trying to emulate them. Some strange gurgling sounds came out of your mouth. You found that that was not fitting the pattern. You changed the pattern. You innovated. You started talking. You started singing. And now I have a wonderful set of young boys singing so rhythmically and enchanting the crowd. That, my dear young students, is the power of innovation. And that is why the ATL Innovation Mission was launched. And I'm so fortunate to have become a part of that innovation bandwagon. You see, the nature of the ATL Innovation Mission, and for that matter, the need for innovation and entrepreneurship has never been greater than today. We are living in a world where it is possible to have affordable, accessible, available, and advanced technologies in your classroom, in your home, in the small kirana stores that are thriving all around this country. And every opportunity, every problem that you see or you complain about is actually an opportunity. We are a country with 650,000 villages. We have more than 715 districts, out of which 115 are called aspirational districts. And why are they called aspirational districts? Because we didn't want to tell them they are the lowermost districts. We wanted them to aspire to become better than what they were. And these aspirational districts are having the lowest scales of affordability affordable healthcare, education, access to education, healthcare, hygiene, waste management, water management, clean drinking water and sanitation, livelihoods. These are all missing in our 115 of our 715 districts. Now, do you lament about it, or can we do something about it? And that, my dear young students, is the opportunity. Science and technology teaches us that every problem is actually an opportunity. An opportunity for you to become more curious about, to discover what are the possible solutions, to learn and acquire knowledge about tools and technologies that can create a solution, to ideate, to innovate, and to bring that innovation into expression through your product, through your service, through your entrepreneurship. And that, my students, is the opportunity in front of you. Like I said, we have 8,000 small towns and cities in our country. But most of you are only familiar with the 8 tier 1 cities that we have. Mumbai, Delhi, Chennai, Bangalore, etc., etc. There are 8 tier 1 cities, but there are 8,000 small towns and cities. India's future is only assured if these 8,000 towns and cities, and including Mysore, become hubs of innovation and job creation. Not just the 8 tier 1 cities. This is the great problem that we had during the COVID-19, where millions of migrant workers from all over the country who had flocked to these 8 tier 1 cities were trying to find their way back, and in the process experience so much misery. We cannot allow that. And that is why this culture of innovation, the culture of entrepreneurship, the culture of creating startups, the culture of creating a nation of job creators, not just job seekers, is absolutely paramount in our country. And my dear young students, you are going to be the job creators. Don't think that you will not become a job creator. But to become a job creator, to become an entrepreneur, you have to acquire an entrepreneurial mindset. And what does that mindset mean? That mindset means few things. It means you become dreamers, but you also become the architects who will convert that dream into reality. That is what an entrepreneurial mindset means. Everything is actually captured in the word dream. Just look at it. The D stands for dare to dream and dream to dare. The R in the dream stands for rise to your full potential. You have tremendous potential inside you. As the great Swami Vivekananda said, rouse that potential from within you. Rouse that energies and let it manifest itself. Reach to the highest levels that you can reach. And yes, you will. Yes, I can, said Barack Obama, and became and rose to become the first black president of the United States. A black man in a country where slavery was existent for such a long time. But he said, yes, I can. And he rose on to become the first black president of the United States. So yes, you can. You should say to yourself and rise to your full potential. And your potential is infinite, is enormous. You allow yourself to limit yourself to the potential. And that is what the great Abdul Kalam meant. That dream big and you will achieve great things. Dream small, you will be limited by your own dream. The E in the dream stands for education, leading to empowerment. But it has to be coupled with empathy. Empowerment comes through acquisition of knowledge, acquisition of tools and technologies, getting familiar with them. That is why the tinkering lab is so very important. The tinkering lab allows you to experiment, play in an atmosphere of fun and learning, and learn how 3D printing, robotics, electronics, Arduino boards or Raspberry Pis, augmented virtual reality, cloud services, all of these can make a difference to solve the problem that you are seeing. And so what are the problems that you see around the world? You don't have to look elsewhere. Nobody has to teach you what are the problems to be solved. You walk from your home to your school. You walk from your school to the mall. You walk from the mall to the nearest playground. You see the world around you, you will see the problems. You'll see the problems that people experience. You go to the farm, you'll see the problem that the farmer experiences. You go to the hilly areas of our country, you see the problems in electricity and water management and affordable housing that they experience. You go to the cities, you see the problems related to climate change and emission control and lack of traffic management and so on. So every one of these problems, my dear young students, is an opportunity. An opportunity for exercising your innovative capability and creating your startup and creating your entrepreneurial impact upon the world. And that is what these science, technology, innovation labs and all these astronomy labs are exposing you to. The opportunity in India is tremendous. We have that demographic dividend, like I said. All of you should team among yourselves. You know, that is something called 21st century skills, which are very different from the skills that we acquired. We wanted knowledge of physics, chemistry, maths. All of us wanted to become a medical doctor or an engineer or a scientist, but we did not try to become problem solvers. And that is what the new education has to emphasize on. Can you become the problem solvers of the future? Education empowers you to become problem solvers. And my dear young students, that problem solving capability only comes with empathy. Now what is empathy? Empathy is putting yourself in the other person's shoes. You see the blind man crossing the road, struggling, waiting for the traffic to clear, not sure whether he should take the next step. You empathize with that blind person, that differently able person. And then you say, what can help in crossing that road? Can I, for example, use a helmet, a sensor technology based helmet, which can survey the world around me and warn the wearer of the helmet that this is now the time to cross the road. And there you have created a new solution. You have created a new startup. And there are millions of such people, the Divyangjan as they call, in our own country or across the world that are deprived of a good life because of lack of technology. And you, my dear students, should create those technology solutions, that innovation. You have that ability. Therefore, the E in the dream stands for empathy, because only when you empathize, you detect the problem. And only when you detect the problem, you start solving the problem. The A in the dream stands for action. We cannot just be dreamers. We need to be able to act upon our aspiration, act upon our dream. And action comes only when you have a plan in front of you. It won't come just by wishing. So that is why the discipline is so important. That is why a holistic approach is so very important. What we need is muscles of iron and nerves of steel, inside which dwells a mind of the same material, said Vivekananda. What powerful words are these? You cannot just become an innovator without having a holistic approach towards developing your body and having the discipline to be able to carry out great acts for the future. So my dear young students, you need to translate that dream into an action plan with measurements, with milestones that you can continuously improve upon. Every time you draw an action plan, you should say, have I achieved something during this year that I set out to achieve? And if I have achieved that, then it is great. Let me now raise the bar. If I have not achieved that, then what should I do to correct myself and be able to achieve that dream? That is when dreams become reality. The M in the dream is making and meeting commitments. You see, any great achievement that anybody has done in life has been when they have made a commitment to themselves that they are going to do it and they're going to achieve it. And when they meet that commitment. Meeting commitments is not telling somebody else, I will meet the commitment. Meeting commitment is meeting a commitment that you have made to yourself. You are the judge of whether you have met the commitment or not. Nobody else needs to monitor it for you. It is a self-imposed corrective action. And when you meet the commitment, you start making a difference to the society. The S in the dreams is who is going to be the benefactor of your dreams. It is society which is going to have an impact. A society which is going to feel it. If you have not got a larger purpose in your life beyond just accumulating money for yourself or for your family and making an impact to society, it is of no use. So my dear young students, let us all dream big. Let us achieve great things for our country. The Atmanirbhar Bharat that the Honorable Prime Minister talks about is a Bharat, is a country where a country is able to stand and each one of us is able to stand on our own legs, not only for ourselves, but for the rest of the world. There are 5 pillars of Atmanirbhar Bharat. The first pillar is the pillar of demographic dividend that I talked about, where education, empowering education, whether it is for the girl child or for the boy child, whether it is for the differently abled or the abled people, whether it is for the economically deprived or for the economically well-off, you need to ensure that education, empowering education is available for all. The second pillar is the pillar of demand. We have 1.3 billion people in our country. They have tremendous demand, whether it is affordable healthcare, education, water, waste management, and so on. You know the problem of waste management, why I talk about, and I am very happy that one of the students, I think it is Gupta, who got this award for the social app that he has built. Waste management, if you do not address the problem of waste management, by 2030 in Delhi, a size of the city of Delhi is needed to hold the waste that is being generated in the NCR region. Now imagine that problem. Imagine the problems to healthcare, hygiene as a result of all of this. And therefore, my dear young students, you need to be able to address this. And now you have robotics, which can segregate organic, inorganic waste. You have electronic technologies, which can reuse your electronics waste, and so on and so forth. Augmented reality, virtual reality can help in your education by extending the domain and collaboration of education across schools, across countries. You have the internet, which allows you global access to data, to teachers, to training, to quality education. How do you leverage that for your own benefit and for the rest of the world? And these are all the things that are required to be able to address this demand. Leveraging technology like 3D printing, robotics, IoT or miniaturized electronics, sensor technology which are getting embedded into man, machine, device, soil, space, precision agriculture which enables a country like Israel to manufacture and export food from a desert. Imagine exporting food from a desert, and that's done because of precision agriculture, because of IoT technologies. They export water from the desert because they are using sensor technologies to extract the water from the moisture in the atmosphere, from the clouds or when it rains, and they are able to access that and convert it to drinking water. There is huge technology being used for desalination of the seawater across many countries. I recently visited Dubai in the Expo 2020, and an entire section for ocean innovation is being done by Norway. They showed about the Sustainable Development Goals. I hope every one of you, and I'm sure all Atal Tinkering Labs are familiar with the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, the SDG goals. There are 17 goals, and these are the goals that need to be solved, not the economic problems of the GDP of a country, but these Sustainable Development Goals: elimination of poverty, elimination of hunger, elimination of inequality in education, availability of houses to live in, availability of livelihoods. These are all, there are 17 such goals which are climate change related issues. These are all needed to be addressed. But these, my dear young students, are the opportunities for you. So, as the great Swami Vivekananda said, let us all arise, awake, and stop not till our goals are reached. So let us arise to the challenges, but more importantly, to the opportunities that are present in front of you. Let us awaken from within ourselves that latent talent, that creativity, that curiosity, that enthusiasm and the ability to contribute to the rest of the world using your intelligence. And let us stop not till the goals of the world as well as that of Atmanirbhar Bharat are reached. Thank you so much for giving me an opportunity to share a few thoughts on today's occasion.
My name is Adish from class 9. This is Biobin Identifier. The project is based on the concept of segregation of waste as biodegradable and non-biodegradable using AI.
My name is Tejesh and I am studying in 9th standard, and this is my project Modern Farming. In this project we aim to support farmers in a way in which they don't have to put any labor and animal labor is also not required.